Yes, so welcome everyone to the SUCCESSFIT Team Call. It is, April 12th. Is it April 13th?
13th.
Oh my goodness, that's really crazy. And tonight's call is all about using HOOTSUITE to auto post and make your life so much easier. And Lorissa Snath is our featured guest speaker tonight. And we're looking forward to hearing about it. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Lorissa. And let me just make sure everyone, it looks like everybody has muted themselves out, but I am just going to check sure everyone's muted. And so if you do have a question, I don't know, Lorissa, before you kind of dive in.
Will I be able to see the questions? Because I'm going to really breeze through a quick presentation and then get into the actual moving around and showing you how to do it. And I feel like then people might want to open it up for as I'm going along. Wait, how do we do that?
Okay, so you feel like it's going to be easier for the how do we do to go. Okay, why don't you should see the chat questions, but I will read them as we go. Maybe too, I'll be the interrupter. But if we've missed something and we're in the middle of a point, just unmute and jump in. We're just to learn this.
We want to be able to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to quickly screen share.
Okay.
If I remember how to do it. Haha. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right. Social media. Here we go. I know you guys want to know more, so let's do this. All right, so HOOTSUITE, before I used HOOTSUITE, the idea of social media to me was crazy because there's so many different platforms. We never know which one to post on. And, Bria was really good at telling me, just stick with a couple that or even one and do it well. But, with HOOTSUITE, it gives us the ability to post, even if you want to post the same content, you can post on different platforms being, I don't tweet at all, but you could do Twitter, or I'm not sure if it posts to Pinterest at all, but that would be something to look into if you're a pin person. But I mainly just use this for Instagram and HOOTSUITE. I got linked up with HOOTSUITE because it is one of the only, or was when I was looking into this, social media planners that posted over to Instagram. A lot of them do it, but when I was looking into this, they didn't post over to Instagram. So that was a huge thing for me since my two platforms are Instagram and Facebook. So if you're catching the recording of this, I just put this slide up briefly to show you exactly what I would cover so you guys will know. But okay, so what is post planning? I'm just going to see if I can move this over. There we go. It's to effectively manage your social media and maximize your ROI, which is exactly what we want, return on investment. And to us, that's, recruiting and getting our challenge packs. Whoops. Let me see. Now my screen doesn't want to move. Maybe if I do this. There we go. Okay. So like I said, social media still kind of blows my mind because there's so much out there. But if I can just hone in on exactly what I know and stick to my two platforms, it does kind of become your best friend and not your worst enemy. So we just have to be careful what we're posting and where. I know that I saw Bria, your girl, whatever her first name is, the Ford chick, just sent out this email in her automated email system that you shouldn't post the same thing across each platform.
Danielle Ford.
That's it. Yeah. But I don't have enough time to post different content on different platforms. So for me, most of my same content goes from Instagram to my Facebook. Okay. So what post planning can do for you is, you can check whether or not your content is performing poorly, making sure that you don't miss important dates. There's where the organization comes in. And I feel like once it is organized and it's pre-planned, you're less overwhelmed and you're less stressed about, oh my goodness, it's 3:00 and I missed my post, or it's 8 p.m. and I have no idea what I'm supposed to be posting right now. But, aside from that, I think what's most important is that it creates a flow, and mostly we are just telling a story. And when you can kind of plan it out, which I will kind of touch on, is we should have a social media, a monthly sort of idea of what you're planning on. If you have a free clean eating group, you're going to be, the week before, you're going to be posting a lot about eating. And if you're doing your sneak peek for coaching, the week before, you're going to be posting a lot about coaching. But, I didn't really have a management style before HOOTSUITE. And so don't worry if you don't either, because we're going to teach you how to do that. But I felt like was doing a disservice if I didn't talk about common mistakes on posting. If some of you are pretty new, try to keep this as personal as possible. So avoid posting like Beachbody stock photos, although some of them are okay, but you're not just forwarding or sharing Beachbody stuff. You're actually posting your own things. And that, you're not forgetting to tell your own story all the time, because that's what people are going to buy from. You don't want to compete with all of the infomercials out there on Beachbody. So you want to make this your own thing and make it real. And the reason that we're posting all this stuff is because we're gaining trust and we're gaining clients, and they love that loyalty of our story. Okay, so again, we're adding value to others and we want to gain an audience. I took this from, I think it was Shay Stanford had this. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to copy and paste it in here for you guys. In case you're not sure exactly what you should be talking about is, let's make sure that we always talk about a fitness program that we're doing. Even if you don't follow a fitness program, that you're running and being active and that you're living a healthy lifestyle. She says to, talk about Shakeology 2 times a week minimum. And not just like grabbing the Google images that you find, but like actually yourself or your family drinking it. 1 to 2 times a week, you're going to invite publicly for upcoming challenge groups and share positive feedback from them. Every day you're posting something motivation on your wall, and once a month to post your transformation pictures or how Beachbody has changed your life. We should be posting 3 to 5 times a day, but I kind of feel like you guys know that already. All right, so the biggest thing is that we're using this to connect with others, and that has to be our mindset, because that's what this is all about. We're not selling, we're connecting, right? So how to plan your social media posts. It scares me too, guys, so don't worry. I also took this from a different group, but just an idea of people that, make a full calendar and, like write out each day different posts or what they're targeting. So how I said, the week before, you're going to be talking about like food if you have an upcoming free clean eating group. So, by looking at a 30-day calendar or 31-day calendar, you can, pick where you're supposed to be posting and when. So I swore I would create one of these things and post it for other people so that it would be easier for you guys to follow, but I'm getting there. But you can make your own and maybe it'll help you out, but this is just an example. So, what planning our posts will do is it prevents us from repeating ourselves and just making sure that everything runs smoothly. And, I think Hootsuite will help you figure out where your platforms are and where your strengths are, so you can figure out and really hone in on those. And then this is just another example I grabbed from the internet on somebody's like daily social media posting. So you can see how specific they get, which platform they're posting on and at which time and on which day of the week. So even if you don't know what you want to post on that exact day just yet, just thinking about which platform and when you want to post it might actually bring clarity to you and your overall story that you're talking about, which is okay. Do's and don'ts. I'm going to breeze over this because I know we all want to get into Hootsuite, but you want to always be yourself, be original, be personable, positive, informative, and always be excited. And the worst thing you can do is to do nothing. I think that there is like a PDF in the Coach Online office on your do's and don'ts for social media. So maybe you could go in there and review that. All right. So how to save time, auto scheduling. All right. This is my bag because I have to be super efficient. I don't have long to work on this every day. So what's in my social media toolbox is definitely Hootsuite. Okay, so Hootsuite is a social media management system. That's such a long word, so we'll just call it our tool, or in my case, my best friend. So it helps us track and manage on our different social media channels. So I kind of already breezed over all of this, but I think the best thing is that you can pick an exact date and time and post it at that exact date and time, as opposed to being all in real life and, getting on your phone throughout the day or trying to do it. Or the worst was waking up in the morning for me and having to post in my challenge groups. Like that drove me crazy. I thought there just must be another way, which is what drove me to Hootsuite. And one of the good things that I wanted to point out about Hootsuite, which I don't actually use, but if you don't know when you're supposed to be posting and you know that you want to get a couple posts out in a day, you can actually go in and just hit auto schedule, and Hootsuite will send them out on like an optimal time. So that's something that I actually don't use, but I'm thinking about it on lazy days, just clicking that auto schedule and then having it do it. All right, so let me see if I can do this. Let's see. So let me close this out and then get into Hootsuite. Okay, so I guess I could log out and then, well, you guys know how to log in. You know, I just created, mine is a free account. I haven't upgraded. I've been fine not paying, although there's one feature, aside from being able to have as many platforms, or like, you know, I'm only doing my Facebook and Instagram on this, but I guess if you upgrade, you can have more. But I use usually 3 streams. I left this one blank so that I could show you how to add a social media market there. But okay, so let's just go over the basics on your brand new. You just set this up. It'll probably look something like this. So I use it to post to my Instagram and then to my groups. And then I use Facebook, like the actual scheduler within Facebook on my like page to schedule those. Just because I wanted to have more Facebook groups on here. I think you can have up to 5 free, but for whatever reason, every time I add more than 3, it kicks me out. So I just stick with 3. So what you're going to do, okay, so I started at the little owl guy, and you're going to go add social network. So to me, I have an upcoming group in the last week of April, so I'm going to click it in Facebook because it's going to be my free group, and I'll go connect with Facebook. So it's going to look like this. It already has my password, so I'll go continue. Okay, so up comes like all my little groups that I have going on. I used to, like I said, I used to have this go to my like page as well, but I wanted to have more groups in here, so I took it off and then just copy and pasted in auto schedule right in my like page. But so I'm going to have a 5-day BOD challenge coming up. So I'm going to click on that and I'll go add selected account. So there it is. So now I have my Instagram. I already have this other free group going that my friends wanted me to do on meditation stuff, mindfulness. But here's my 5-day Beachbody on demand. Now, let's see. Wait, back up. Okay, so I want to note, so when you go to post something, you'll have your 3 or 4 if you want more options here. So I'm going to do a sample post to the group that I just made because so I just pre-made this already and I'm just copying and pasting it for tonight's call because I actually do want to schedule something. So I'm going to write everything in there and I want it to post in the 5-day challenge. So I'm going to click that. And this is what I want to note. Okay, so I purposely picked this one because there's a link. So what you can do is copy and paste that and go add link, put it in there and shrink it. And then, oh, you know what? I maybe should have not clicked on this first. Hang on. Let me do this. I think if you click that out, go shrink, and then it shortened the URL there. And then you can get rid of it since I doubled it there. And then if I click this, it should show up down here. Or maybe it just doesn't want to do it because tonight I'm on the call. But it should have your a picture of the link like it did there before, but it's just not happening. Okay, so
Lorissa, quick question. Yeah. I think Trish asked in. It's a good question. When anytime something posts from Hootsuite, does it always say Hootsuite up in the like I know on Facebook when you post
Facebook it does. Facebook it does, but it doesn't on Instagram, and I'll show you why in my next one because you copy and paste it over to Instagram.
Okay.
I'll show you. Yeah. So, but these ones it will. Anything in Facebook it will.
Okay.
So then you're going to click, sorry, I moved all the questions away so I could see my screen. So just bleep me when I need to answer a question.
Yeah, no problem. I'll interrupt you.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you're going to go scheduling. So I want to schedule this one on the 20th, and I always do it in the morning. So 5 a.m. is my thing. So there we go. So 5 a.m. on April 20th, done. And I'm going to go schedule. Now, you're probably like, well, why do I keep doing that? Where the heck is all my stuff? And so you're going to go to your streams to see where they are. Now, you can see that I have the 2 streams that were already there, and I already added the Beachbody On Demand one. So you're like, where the heck is it? You actually have to add it here. So you're going to go onto this little add one, and I'll just go #VOD because I know that that's it. And then, to make it even more complicated, I just stick with these 2 things to keep it really simple. So I like a little stream that tells me which ones I have scheduled, and a little stream of sometimes I like the timeline of what I want going on. But you don't have to.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you just clarify what a stream is for people? And
I think the stream would just be the social media platform. Like these things.
Your specific group, right, that you've chosen to use?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the process is you sign into your account. You first start by choosing a social media platform.
Yeah. Go find it. Add social media. Go find it. Usually you're adding something in Facebook, just like I did, and then pick it and hit enter, and then it shows up here.
Great. And then from there you can go into that social network, and then actually start loading up a script and scheduling.
Click on your streams, and then you'll see it here, and you can start scheduling, or these little things here. Now I added them. So for example, this is my Instagram. I have, these are like all my scheduled posts, and these are posts that went off already. That's just how I like it. But for example, I purposely left it out of this one. So right now in this challenge group on Facebook, I only have the scheduled ones showing. So I'm like, I really do like to see the ones that I've done, just so that, I don't know, it keeps my head straight. So I would go add stream. Sorry guys, I know this might seem a little technical, but since it is on a Facebook group, I like scheduled, and then I think it's timeline. I have to pick my Live Better challenge. Doesn't have a timeline, so I want that one there. A stream added. Let's see, and there it is. So these are the ones that I've already posted. And I can see activity, people that have commented in there. So you can actually comment if you want straight from here. You don't have to go into your Facebook group and do it, which is really cool. And okay, and then if you're like, whoa, what the heck have I scheduled? I have no idea what's going on. This really cool feature here called Publisher, if you click on that, it tells you all the stuff that I've already got in the pipeline ready to go. I loaded a lot of this. I loaded up on Sundays for the week because it's very unpredictable with my kids, so I really like to have everything organized. I don't have to think about it. I did post some extra ones in here, and they're for my groups. So if you were to upgrade, this is one of the things I would just love, is you can, you would have a whole month and it would show on your screen right here. But when you don't pay, you only get the list, which I still think is helpful, because I'm like, I'm posting at 4:40. That doesn't make any sense. So if that's the case, I would go in there and I could click edit, and I can edit my post right from here. So clearly I didn't mean for it to go at AM. I meant for it to go at PM. So I could just click and then go save changes. And then it's saved, if that makes sense. So that's to post to a Facebook group. So if we go back here, I have Instagram stuff. Okay, now this is where I'm going to get technical. And And by technical, I just mean I have to share my phone so that you guys understand what's going on. So let me just click time, file, movie recording.
You are not kidding about getting technical. This is serious business.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry,
No,
not sorry.
very cool.
Okay, boom. All right. So now I have what would happen if I were to schedule something on my Hootsuite. Okay, so I actually did put one. So if we went into our Hootsuite here and we said, we made our post and we were like, oh, actually, wait a minute. I did this already. Hang on. Stop share. Oops, I didn't mean that one. Wrong stop share. Hang on. Stop share on my phone. How do I stop sharing my phone now? Now I don't know how to stop the share. I tried to get technical. Hang on. Let's figure this out. There. Okay. Okay, cool. I forgot that I made this even, I would show you exactly. All right. So I'm going to post to Instagram right now. So I preloaded this little text, and then I have a photo you can just drag and drop here. Now, when you drag and drop, or you can just upload it, I just drag and drop. Don't add 2 photos because it sends them separately. So just always add 1 photo. I'm going to send it to my Instagram, and I'll go send now. All right. And I just got a little bloop on my phone. And now I'm going to go to I was one step ahead of myself. I was so excited to share my phone with you guys. I forgot. Because this is the part that really screwed me up when I first started. Is I was like, how the heck do you get it from? Okay, so this is what it would look like. It's like, oh, you've got, I have something from Hootsuite to post. So here I go. So now I'm literally punching this on my phone and you guys can see it. So I'm going to click on Hootsuite. And this is the one that I just sent. This first one here, We're the Dreamers of the Dreams. I'm going to click that picture and then it shows up. And you see how it says open in Instagram? You're going to click open in Instagram and it says caption copied to clipboard. Okay, that's key because I didn't know that when I first started this. And then you're going to click next. Okay, yes, I want to just use that one. Okay, and then so for the write a caption, you're going to click in there. I'm going to double click it again and see the paste. I'm just going to go paste. And that was the post that I just sent from on my computer. Then I'll click OK. And if I wanted to, you can share right from here to your other accounts. So I could click Facebook. So if I do click Facebook, that's not my like page. That's my personal page. So I'll just do it so that if you guys ever look, you can like see it and I'll go share. And there, now it's done. So if I click on my Instagram account, there it is. Done. Cool, right?
That's awesome. So there's another question. It's a really good question. It's how far in advance do you do your posts? I thought I saw that you had until this Friday or Saturday, and how many times are you posting a day per platform?
I am posting, so I'm trying to grow my following on Instagram. So I'm posting there quite honestly, and see how I do this little, I make it so that there's these white blocks in between my pictures. So when I do that, I'm honestly posting on here like 6 times a day, probably. But I just feel like Instagram, I don't know, it hurts my eyes to see all the pictures together. So this is just how I am.
So
on Instagram,
you just choose to post in a certain way, or is there a settings that?
No, I post it that way.
Okay.
It's planned.
Brilliant.
It's planned. And So, but because I've been posting more on here. I grew my followers by like 300 in just the past, like probably month or two. So, which I think is a lot because I really wasn't posting like well on Instagram, and I was just gaining like 10 followers like a week or something like that. But all of a sudden it's like catching on more. But any more questions before I move on for like my phone?
I think there is. Bobby says it's beautiful, and it is.
Oh, thank you.
I have maybe you'll cover this again, but because I think you've said it a bit tonight. Can you just share one more time how you use this for your business? So it sounds like on Sundays you carve out time where you sit down, and how much time do you spend, and how far out do you load up your posts, and how long does that take you?
I definitely try to do a full week at a time. Because Sundays I often get a little bit of a break. My husband will take the kids out to the playground for a couple hours. So I try to do everything in a couple hours. I know it sounds like a lot, but I'd rather do it in a chunk of time so that I can think everything through on when I want to plan it. Like, cause you want to do your big posts in the evening. So I'm like, okay, well, which evening am I going to do my shout out for my coaches or challengers, or which night am I going to do a call out to like my next challenge group? Or so those things I have to think about. And sometimes if I know, my coach sneak peek is coming up in a couple weeks, I'll already have thought about that post and maybe put it in there so that when I go back to my little list of when I have things planned out, it's already there. So I'm like, oh yeah, I already thought about that one. So for my business specifically, I spend at least 2 hours on Sunday and bang out a minimum a full week and load it all up. So that's my whole like page and my Instagram. But that's all that I do is those two.
Awesome. And there's a couple questions. One, how do you grow your following? Like converting a like to a follower, a liker to a follower. Jody, you should explain that one. Why don't you unmute?
I don't. They just follow me. I don't like convert anybody. I haven't had any success yet on Instagram. Like I know we heard one of those national wake up calls where she's like, I got 50% of my challenge packs or like clients from Instagram. I'm not there yet. And by all means, I'm not like the guru of HOOTSUITE, but I can get it going and it posts for me. So it's my best friend, but because I don't use any of these contacts. You can run campaigns. I haven't done it in here. Like I don't use any of these things or analytics right now, but I just keep it really simple. Okay. But yeah, like you can see that I have, these are all loaded up for like the upcoming days. Like I think I knew that I even wanted one for like the 28th. So I don't have a full week in there, but I know that like, so there's a gap between the 21st and the 28th. But when I go back in to schedule that week, I know that I wanted that one on that day for whatever reason. But I do feel like when I sit down and do it in a chunk of time, it just seems to plan better. I'm not very good at like last minute posts I can do on my personal page. Like, oh, I'm hanging out at the playground with my kids and I'm so happy that I'm a coach because I get to be here right now and like that kind of thing, I think maybe I did that today.
That's it. Bobby asked about that.
Those are my on the fly stuff.
Okay. So if you do like family on the fly posts, you just kind of add them in as you go. Do you just post those directly to Instagram or Facebook, or do you actually go through your HOOTSUITE?
I post my personal stuff directly to my personal page.
Okay.
I use this mostly for my just challenge groups and Instagram. Since we can in Facebook, like pre-schedule everything on your like page, not your personal page.
I should be able to get
Got it.
What else?
change.
Am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay.
Sorry. I was just
It's okay.
I'm gonna Sorry, Jody, did you have more to say? I think I may have cut you off there.
Do you need me to like? Mm-hmm.
just when she said that she's added that many followers in the last month, I was curious if there was, it sounds like frequency and consistency of posting is doing it. I'm getting a lot of likes and the occasional person following. I just wasn't sure if there was like a trick.
I don't know what the trick is. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't have that many followers, you know. I mean, sorry.
And I wanted to add to that, because I see the people that have a lot of followers, they have way less posts than I do.
Me
way
too.
Less.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the number of posts that gets you followers.
No. I mean, I know people that have like, you know, a few thousand and they've posted like 30 times.
Yeah. How does that happen?
So those people are usually like big professionals that already have like a web page and like a full business going. So people like look for them. They just don't really use their Instagram platform.
And you can buy Instagram followers.
Yeah, you can definitely buy them.
It's a very easy thing to do. Yeah, I haven't done it, but I know like you can pay very easily on Instagram for one to get a mass amount of followers, and two to almost like auto respond to people. So, you know, to almost seem like you're there communicating with them, where a certain amount of people are post and automatically it's like there's an auto post where you go and it's just saying like great pick or whatever, like really, you know, from random people.
Yeah, and what the thing is that people will follow you and then unfollow you in like a week. You know, so they're like not your real following. And a lot of these are probably not. I can like bounce up and bounce down by like 20 followers in one day. You know, so if you're like, oh, awesome, I hit 1,000, and then like you look the next day and you're at like 950, you're like, what happened? It's like because they weren't real followers. So like the trick with Instagram is people go on there and they like a whole bunch of stuff, they follow a whole bunch of people, so that the person that they like that they just began to follow, they click on them and they open them up, and they're like, oh, who is this person? Maybe I should follow them, and they might. And then the first person like ditches them like a week later. They're like, thanks for following me. Now I'm going to unfollow you and move on. Like that's how like a lot of people do it. Or they just like, I've heard that a secret is to like on, so if I were to go into yours, Jody, if I were to like 3 of your posts, it's more likely to send like a little flag up to you. It's like, who is this person? I'm going to click on them. And then you're going to go into my profile and check me out. And maybe you'll follow me. So that's like something that people do.
I find it's like, I find the people that I follow, they follow me back right away, usually. But I don't follow a lot of people because a lot of the stuff I'm getting is like fitness people or clothing reps or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's really hard. I haven't cracked the code. I'm just doing my thing. I wish I had more Instagram background to like tell you, but
are you using the direct messaging on Instagram, Lorissa?
I don't. I mean, only to talk to some of my friends, but I haven't. Like, I've had one person reach out to me who wanted to join up, but she was from Europe and like couldn't.
Yeah, so, me too. I've had Mexico. I've had several from Mexico. I'm like, I can't help you.
Yeah. So, and I've instant messaged with them, but you know, to me, I just think it's important to like get yourself out there, and Instagram's just one platform that you can use to do that. And if I'm not creating different content, well, I am a little bit in terms of like, I made it pretty. Like I just made my, oopsies. I made this, I'm in my Hootsuite, sorry. And then I made it, they say to like make it so that it flows and it like looks like a magazine, you know, but I feel like when people just have random pictures everywhere, although people have 30,000 followers and it's all random pictures, like doesn't matter. This is just my style. You know, but it's helped me. So, but I don't know, any other Hootsuite specific questions?
I have one.
Yeah.
And so I was using Hootsuite, but I noticed when I did 2 Hootsuite posts in a row, and they were both pictures, they would end up in a little album. And when they showed up on my feed, and I had, say I did an 8 o'clock post and then a noon post, or anyway, if they were directly in a row, they would clump together. So they would show like two posts, even though I had separate comments in them. And so what I found was I could schedule I always use scheduling for my groups, but I would do a first thing in the morning, Hootsuite, and then anyway, I always had to have a personal post in between so that they didn't get clumped together. And
This is going over to Facebook or going over to Instagram?
over to Facebook.
Huh.
And then it even opened up its own little photo gallery called Hootsuite.
And you know what was like something that had just happened maybe last month was it would just send the photo and it looked like there was no writing. But if your challengers actually had to double tap the picture and then your content would be there that you wrote. Did you ever double tap the picture and open it up?
No, my challenger, the stuff worked out okay because it was just once a day.
Oh.
I'm talking about the stuff to my own page.
I don't know. I don't post it to my own page because I feel like, I just, we're not technically supposed to be like, putting our business stuff on our personal page, although I should stop doing it as much as I do. But I've never had that problem. I just know that when you put two pictures, like two images in here, like if I were to drag and drop this twice, it sends like, I don't know why it won't let me, but it sends it twice. Oh, it won't let me, but it comes up in two separate things. So
Mine were two separate posts at scheduled for different times. But when they showed, because they were one after another, they showed up, like one would show up, and then the one that was scheduled at noon would show up too, right next to it.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I know that one of my coaches, Carla, she has had a hard time with Hootsuite, she said. So I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, it's not always perfect, but it's perfect enough that like I don't have to think about it. And if I have an issue, I usually just, when you do on your phone, you do I'm just speaking specifically for iPhone, but when you double click on the thing and you get rid of these, so you swipe them up to like delete them. If ever I have a problem, I just go in there and I like swipe those things up and then I come back to Hootsuite and it always seems to like reset itself.
Sharon, I would just say I've noticed that too. Like whenever I try to tag myself in something from my business page, like tag my personal page into my business page, if I do that 2 times in a row, it has created an album. So it must have something to do with Facebook in that. It sounds like though with Hootsuite, it's best used for either Instagram or for your challenge groups, because your like page you can schedule from your like page. And then I know that doesn't help you with your personal page too much, but it sounds like that's a very high maintenance thing if we have to like insert personal things in between to keep them separated.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree. Are you still there? Krista has a quick question, Lorissa, about is Hootsuite still hiding the texts, just showing the picture? Do you know that, or has that changed? Or sorry, is Facebook? What, you remember how you were saying in your group?
Oh, no, it's changed. It's back to showing up.
It's just been a thing.
Because I'm posting over into like this challenge, and it's been fine. The Live Better challenge.
The only time that I've tried Hootsuite, that's what it was doing.
That's annoying. I don't know. I have no idea why it did that. I had been using it for a couple months and had never done that before, and then it just started doing that. But it's back. It's back now. It's fine. I mean, because for me, running these challenge groups, I mean, and now that we can use my challenge tracker, it just gives me one extra social like network feed here. So now I can definitely load up like my coach sneak peeks and like my free groups and my Instagram, and I'm like set. If those things are all pre-scheduled, I am one happy camper, because it just lets me focus on so much other stuff in the day. you know, I could not stand waking up in the morning and like posting in the group and, you know, but this like eliminates that for me so that I can focus on waking up and getting my workout in, my kids out the door, and then like sitting down and, you know, and don't get me wrong, I don't always have like a full week planned out because sometimes the weekend, you know, is really busy and I don't have time to do it. But at least on Monday morning, I know that I can sit down and like get at least the full day out or the next day so that I, you know, can catch up a little bit. But my ideal plan is to have a full week loaded up so that I can really focus on all the other stuff. Especially when we're really focusing on hitting Success Club, you know, then I can like really message people and like invite and get out there. Whereas I don't want to be just thinking about, oh, I got to get my post out. And I like to be consistent. It's one of the things I like to pride myself on, and this is how I do it. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want me to show you on here? Again, remember you go to the little owl thing, you add your network, and then you go to the streams, and then you could add whatever that you just did. Can you see, Bria, any other questions?
No, I think you're good. Sorry, my son crawled out of bed there, so I was a bit distracted. But no, I don't see any. It looks like
Sure.
I think you've answered everything. It's definitely a really powerful tool, isn't it? And I do love how you can, like you said, like I love how you've carved out that time on Sundays because it can take a while, especially as you grow, you know, when you've got at any given time, like you have your team page, which is you all become leaders. You're going to have a team page and you'll have a challenge pretty much running always. And then you have, you know, maybe a sneak peek, maybe a free group, maybe a training group. Like you end up having quite a few groups. So it's a great way to kind of take that off your mind and know that you can, again, focus more on the invitations or the connections with people. So it's great.
Right.
Thanks for sharing that tonight. I think it's
and
awesome.
you can go in there and comment. Like you don't have to open up like your other stuff.
I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
Nice.
And you can go to like that little publisher thing and see like all the posts that you have ready to go. So you're like it's kind of like a snapshot, like, oh, I'm missing like Sunday night post. Like, how could I not have a post there?
Yeah, I like that as well.
You know, like it just helps me see it better.
Do you pre-record your workout posts then?
No, those are usually live. So that's like the one I leave open in the morning. Okay. What I've tried to do, and because those ones are more like, those ones I like to sort of be in the moment for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'll video it and then whatever like comes to me. But you know, sometimes like the night before I'll be thinking about what I want to write about. And if something hits me, I'll write it out because the mornings are very hectic for me, even if I wake up at 4:30. But yeah, I try to pre-think it so that it's a very quick, smooth transition.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, I'm all about efficiency and being effective. So if there's like some way that I can be more efficient, I will do it. Although my husband says 10 minutes of, it is very clean. I'm a nurse. I can't help it.
Sterile. Sterile with hospital corners.
This is true. And the pillowcases, the opening has to not face the door.
What? Why?
That's what they tell me in nursing school.
But why?
Germs.
Oh.
They go in the pillow.
Oh,
I know.
weird.
I would have like failed if I didn't do that. So, you know, I'm just blame Ryerson Nursing School.
Anyone else have any other questions for Lorissa tonight before we wrap up?
I do.
Yeah.
Am I missing all these chats here?
Do you have two separate accounts for anything, like for one for work and one for personal? Because I'm struggling with like Twitter. I have one for work. It's actually called Monica Recruits because I'm a recruiter, but
yeah,
I don't want to create another one. So but maybe I should. Like I'm just so
you should.
My work is like, don't mix up your work and your whatever. So then I went.
No, you need separate feeds.
So separate for everything. So then it says that you can only have 3 for the free account. So then I put the
That's
pro.
like 3 to 5. You might be able to get away with more than. Oh, you bought the pro already?
I just did it right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I've never been able to schedule before. And then I thought, okay, I have this. It counts your groups as one of the things, right? Like one of the 3 free things. So I already have. And again, I might even be over 5 when I add everything up. But right now I have the 3. So my personal page, my like page, and 2 groups. So that's already 4. And then if I add Instagram, it's 5.
Yeah.
Then would I just use, so keep it separate is what you're saying.
I mean, so I've just seen a lot of Shalene Johnson stuff. Like, so that's why I don't have so my Instagram is I treat it like a business.
Okay. Cause I have mine only for personal. My Instagram is personal, but my recruiter, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, Monica Gibbs, and my Facebook, Monica Gibbs is work. So I do have separate, and then my Monica Lalomia, which is my maiden name, ironically, is my personal stuff.
Oh man, that's a lot to manage.
I know.
You definitely need like a planner. Like that's why this would help you a lot.
Yeah.
It's just taking the time to 1, learn it. And then 2, once you get into the routine of scheduling and planning, it's just the first part of like getting ahead. Mm-hmm. Because then once you're already a week ahead, like now when Sunday hits, like I'm not trying to catch up and plan like 2 weeks. So when you first start, you're almost planning like 2 weeks in advance because you have to like get ahead. But, my Instagram, I only post like my business stuff. So it wouldn't be something like myself, like loving my daughter in the playground because how much I love coaching. Maybe I should be doing more of that, but I wasn't gaining the followers that way. Yeah. But when I keep it real and I keep it just to like fitness and health, like that's when everything started to grow.
Yeah.
I don't having my own issues on my like page, but
yeah, no, I'm going to try to keep it separate because, I got in trouble already, but I try to sneak in like some Shakeology or Coach Life, whatever hashtags, but I think I am going to keep it separate. And then already my page, has some comments about my other profile. So I'm just going to leave it as that.
Yeah.
I think like we can get really swallowed up in all the different opportunities to do. I just think in my experience, like try to stay focused on like the one or 2 until you really feel like you've developed a system in that social media platform that works for you, that's converting, that's bringing people in and that's converting into like
the ROI.
Yeah, that ROI, like you were saying. And then you can expand. And when you get into those bigger expansions, what I have heard, because I'm not there yet, like I really am only on Facebook like page and then I push stuff to Instagram, but I haven't been converting there. Then you can actually get like e-assistants that sort of help you to, take your one post that you'd put out or one piece of content that you'd put out and span it across several social media platforms in a way that makes sense. And then you're still only doing the work of one person. But again, that's like, I don't know. I think that's way down the road. I mean, it's way down the road for me still. So
I mean, I'm not getting the ROI from Instagram, but my take on it is that I want to just build it. Like same thing with a like page. You have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I'm just like in this building phase and I'm hoping that at some point, like that momentum's going to just like click. I mean, if other people are doing this, like I just feel like at some point it's going to work. Mm-hmm. I just have to keep figuring it out, but I need to grow followers. Like, so I'm just in a building phase, just like I'm just posting everywhere. Hootsuite makes it really easy for me to push it to Instagram. So that's all I'm doing is like pushing and growing.
Yeah.
I've been tweaking my content depending on where I'm putting it. Like I might use the same photo or video, but I might say less in Instagram, but use way more hashtags and then say more in Facebook and fewer hashtags without changing the content completely. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't ask questions and stuff on Instagram. Like, whereas on Facebook, it's Janelle Summers always says to like end with the questions and like really try to get the engagement. So Facebook, when I put it over there, so since I do the 2 scheduling, I always make sure at the end of my Facebook, like videos or whatever, like try this or comment, like, whereas you know, sometimes in Instagram I'll say double tap this, like for some love or whatever, you know, but Facebook is more specific in terms of the questions that I'm asking people. I mean, but I definitely haven't mastered this because I'm not getting much engagement. I'm just, the only thing that's happened lately is I am growing on Instagram, which is nice that something's finally, you know, and I'm growing my like page, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like there's some trick that I'm missing.
I really don't know that there's a trick. I think it comes down to, like you said, growing a following consistently, being there for them, and then like, you know, connecting with them. So, you know, even when you hear Jen Richardson in that Instagram call that we heard, or I've done a call I know about reaching into your coal market that's recorded specifically with Facebook. I really do think that it has so much to do with building that following, offering content that is valuable to the people that relate to you, and then connecting with them. How do you connect with them? You know, and it's that consistency over time that is what wins in this world, right? It's the building a trust factor, because this is not, as much as this is a business, it's so much based on people helping people and being very genuine. So I think that you're totally set up, you know, you're setting up your Instagram so smart. Like eventually you're going to learn to convert there somehow, and you're going to have people to convert. So
I'm hoping. I mean, I'll let you know. When I start to master this, I'll train
on the next round.
But for now, you can just plan.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I feel like this was really great, and it's going to be a great call to have recorded so that people can go back and like follow along, you know, to what Lorissa was doing when you're setting up your own Hootsuite. So thank you for that. That's amazing. And it's a really great presentation. I'll have to ask you where you get some of your imagery from. It was great. Thanks everyone for being on tonight. I hope that you found as much value in this as I definitely did. And thanks Lorissa for putting so much time in. Next week's call, I am going to spend some time talking about volume and how we earn through volume, because I think there's a lot of question about how we earn and building your team. So I am going to talk about that on our team call next week before we have another guest speaker. So I'll look forward to seeing you guys then, but have an awesome week. And thanks again, Lorissa. We'll see everyone later.
I make all of those quotes myself, so I don't steal the imagery, but I can do another one on apps and how to make them.
I love that. That would be awesome. I think we need to do that too.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks guys. Have a great night.